There's a strong possibility that they'll attempt a pincer movement on our carrier group. I advise that we engage them. Hit the Belgrano as a warning to the others. Send them all back to port.
It'll play badly internationally. We'll be seen as aggressors.
This will be an escalation, Prime Minister.
If there is to be an escalation, it's better that we start it.
Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at The Iron Lady, a movie about Margaret Thatcher, of course. Based on the reviews I've read on this movie, it fell flat for a lot of people in some areas. But I do think if you set your expectations appropriately, you can certainly enjoy this movie, and at the very least learn something about one of Britain's most controversial prime ministers. There are some great strengths to The Iron Lady movie. For one, it has one of the best casts you can imagine. Meryl Streep is excellent as Thatcher, and Jim Broadbent is great as her husband. The whole supporting cast is excellent. The film brings to life Thatcher as a person, particularly as a vulnerable person, the other side of the Iron Lady. Thatcher suffered from dementia late in life. She died at the age of 87 on April 8, 2013, and had suffered from memory issues as far back as the early 2000s. The film chooses to tell the story of Thatcher's life and career in politics from her elderly perspective, looking back on her life while she struggles with dementia. This is why the film will likely disappoint some viewers. Rather than a deep dive into the political life of Thatcher, the only 1 hour and 40-minute movie uses up almost half its time focusing on an elderly, vulnerable Thatcher, wrestling with hallucinations and her health. Meryl Streep can easily captivate viewers through this. Her portrayal of an elderly Thatcher is excellent. It's just not likely what people wanted or expected from this movie. The film has one foot in the political drama world and the other in a sad end-of-life drama, with the two not blending well together. Viewers will either know about Thatcher and be eager for detailed storytelling about some of the critical events of her time in Parliament, or they won't know much about Thatcher and want an easy-to-follow biographical, and you won't get either, unfortunately. The events of Thatcher's time in politics are highly fragmented in the film, with little breakdown on her views or involvement in any specific policy. Rather, the focus is on memorable and powerful deliveries of lines and speeches, which Streep does execute well.
This is a day to put differences aside, to hold one's head high, and take pride in being British.
But what are these lines without an understanding of the policy Thatcher was pushing behind them? Instead, you'll get an overview of the climate Thatcher had to do politics in, which again is done very well, just in a fragmented way. The scenes of Thatcher having to overcome the sexist environment of Parliament are great, and the film's larger message is that Thatcher was an ambitious glass ceiling breaker, and she does deserve credit for this, no matter what you think of her politics. Thatcher became a PM for Finchley in 1959, one of 25 women out of 605 men in the House of Commons, a ratio that would remain almost consistent until the late 1980s, during Thatcher's time as PM from 1979 until 1990, though Thatcher herself was not a feminist. Unfortunately, the film gives no mention of other women in Parliament at this time. The movie does touch on political crises Thatcher had to deal with during her time in office, such as massive strikes from critical services. Just before Thatcher took office, uncollected garbage dominated London streets. Thatcher would become known for being anti-union and would make deep cuts to social programming. Thatcher was also known for her leadership during the Falklands War, the highlight of which is the best 10 minutes of the movie. Though Thatcher made cuts to the military before the war with Argentina broke out, she did not back down from a fight and retook the invaded Falkland Islands from Argentina in June of 1982. It was a huge success for Thatcher politically and a great time of patriotism in the United Kingdom. The film glosses over many events from the conflict in Northern Ireland to relations with America. Events happen so fast and are often so jammed into the film, you could easily miss some of them. The biggest letdown is there's no time in the movie to highlight Thatcher's relationship with Ronald Reagan. They were often called political soulmates, though perhaps a few minutes in the film simply wouldn't have done justice to the relationship. All right, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. Do check out The Iron Lady. It might pay to watch a documentary on Margaret Thatcher first, just to get some context for the movie. It should improve it for you. I did also forget to mention the name Iron Lady comes from a Soviet journalist who gave her that name based on her reputation for being headstrong. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, do like, comment, or subscribe. But most importantly, do take care and have a nice rest of your day.